There we go. We are live. Welcome to Rick's Life as I See It, a 1-hour talk show about guns, politics, anything that crosses my mind. Also, answer questions from the listener. You can either put them in the chat or send me an email at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com. And I want to say, great show last week. Thanks for showing up. Who we got here? Rich White, Bob, Ohio, Native Gun, Too Hottie. That's what I see so far. Thanks for coming in. And I got a panel. Introduce them. I got Night Strike.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the invite.
And I got Tony.
Hey, people. Yes, I'm everywhere like a fucking plague.
I thought like a cockroach. Oh, wait, no, that's me.
And there's the link to join the chat if you wish. Be on the panel. Now, it's a great show last week, but before we get started, I don't know if everybody's heard. I thought I'll put this out there, where a lot of us were going over to VidMe. That is, they are shutting down as December 15th. As of right now, you can't upload anything anyway. So, but if you've got stuff over there that you want to, that you've put over there, just over there and not on YouTube, you might want to go get it before the 15th, because they said they'll all be deleted. And that's that newscast. I can't buy so and so because I'm not sponsored. So, just a little hint out there, guys. Hey, Grim. Didn't even see you there. And, okay. And next. Hey, John.
Hey, fellas. How's everybody doing?
John Z joined the panel. Okay. Now. I don't know how to handle this. Is my email in contest that I set last week, I didn't get a right answer from anybody. And I got half of one from one person. And so, I mean, do I give you guys the answer and do a new question for this week? Or do I repeat the question and let it run another week? What do you think, panel?
I think you should let you should give them the right answer and give them a different question, because Rick, I told you this before. If you make the question too hard for some people, you'll never get an answer.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'm going to give it. The question was, which two pistols replaced the Lee Enfield No. 2 Mark I revolver and the Webley Mark IV revolver as the British service pistol? Okay. Now, I use this site that has gun questions on it. So, but I also spent 2 days researching the web make sure I was correct. And I even actually, believe it or not, I even called my sister in England and asked her to do a web search, see what comes up on theirs, because everything here, everything American here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she came up with she got her answers faster than I got mine. But the answer was the Browning High Power and the SIG P226. But as I think it was last year, they phased out the Browning High Power, and they've kept the SIG 226. But the number one gun they hand out now is, would you believe, the Glock 17 Gen 4. That was the answer.
Glock?
Yeah. The British military are using the Glock 17 as of last year.
Shit, you just need an organization or either terrorist or another country that uses something a little better than the Glock, and, they can steamroll the England. What the hell?
Yeah.
Because if England is using Glocks, shit, a number of our police forces here in the United States use Glocks. our military uses something a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, but they had the SIG 226 too, but I think the Glock 17 is what's being issued now to any new recruits.
I don't know. If I was a new recruit in the British Army, I would ask for a better gun.
Well, maybe, yeah, I would ask for if I had a choice, I'd go for the SIG.
Like, do you have any American 1911s or like some M9s lying around? I'd take that instead.
During my research, the British Army did use the 1911 during the war only.
They still probably have them in warehouses that they haven't gotten rid of either.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes with countries that don't sell surplus to.
Hey, Clover.
People.
There ain't goddamn thing wrong with a Glock, so just lay off of them.
Yeah, so that was the answer, guys. It was a tough question,
I just like to give Glock shit because it's Glock.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. That's why.
So I've got a new. At the halfway point, I have the patch question coming up. Then, of course, at the end, I'll have another. The deck of playing cards. Got another question for that. So there we go. All right, on to my list of topics I have here. Unless anybody else got one they want to talk about. Okay, my first one on my list was open carry or concealed. I was talking to Dead Horse earlier today, and I'm with him on a consensus. Really, carrying open, I don't think makes you a target.
I'll agree with you on that. In the biggest part of it, I think it. If you're open carrying a handgun's one thing, but if you're open carrying a long gun, you're just causing problems.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay. Let me rephrase that. Handgun. I'm talking about handguns.
Oh, believe me, if I was able to, I would be walking around with a pair of freaking 7.5-inch Rugers on my friggin' belt every day.
Yeah, I mean, if I could carry open, I mean, because in Rhode Island you have to carry concealed. So I got all kinds of contraptions. But the most comfortable thing I have, which is I was telling Dead Horse, is I have a leather outside the waistband holster that I wear, and I wear loose fit. As you guys can see, I'm a bigger guy. See my Cullen New York T-shirt I have.
The PP life.
I wear these kind of things, and they're baggy enough where it goes over the holster. To me, being a bigger guy like me, wearing inside the waistband is damn uncomfortable.
Now, you see, I am absolutely opposite of that. I'm more comfortable carrying my SD inside the waistband than my 629 outside, but that's just because the thing's heavy.
Right.
And I tried carrying on the outside of my waistband with my semi, and I was whacking it on everything.
Yeah.
All right. This is my opinion, but I'd like to think that if you're open carrying and people can see it, it may be a small deterrent to those that would think to do something, I don't know, wrong.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, am I wrong in thinking that? Thinking that it might have a small effect?
Well, that's what I feel. I feel it has more beneficial to being a deterrent than a target.
I think you're looking at two scenarios that are related but not.
Right.
In a place where you're going to be a target, somewhere where somebody has planned to do something and they stumble across you, like at a bank or something, and there's guys that have come into this bank to rob it, they see you carrying a gun, yeah, you're going to be a target. But other day-to-day life, it'll be a deterrent for somebody trying to snatch and grab or do some stupid shit like that.
All right, well, let me give you a different scenario then. If we're going to give scenarios, what if there's 2 or 3 people that are open carrying, they're at a gas station, and some dude who thinks he's going to rob the gas station sees 3 people in there with guns. is he going to want to go in there and hold the attendant at gunpoint?
I would say not.
Probably not. No, that's like the snatch and grab scenario, though. They're.
Yeah. You threw the bank robbery scenario at me, so I have to respond with the gas station scenario.
Yeah, but as I was saying, I would prefer if I lived in a state that allowed open carry, I would open carry, unless the situation. Man, I said I think I was talking to Tony about this. Say if I carry everywhere, whether I'm meant to or not. Maybe I'm taking a risk. I am, but the only place I don't carry into is the post office and the police station. Why the post office? And of course, I ain't been to court yet, so I would imagine I wouldn't.
You wouldn't bring that into court either because they're
But what I'm saying is, like, I'll carry inside a hospital, stuff like that. I don't have no problem. But where I'm going with it, so if I was doing that, or if say I was going to a concert or something where there's big crowds, then I would carry concealed than open because you have more chance of somebody snatching it in a big crowd like a concert or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I look at it. I don't see anything from the audience out there.
That's another.
Nobody's take on it.
That's another thing against the open carry. The fact that it's out there exposed for somebody to try to grab, but that would. The target part of it and the people that want to snatch and grab it, that wouldn't deter me because I think it's more of a benefit for people to see that you have a gun. But most of the time, I think it's a tactical advantage to have the damn thing hidden. That way you can decide if you want to get involved in something or not, as opposed to people automatically expecting you to get involved in protecting them because you have a gun.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there, but hell, even if I was open carrying and I didn't think it was wise, I ain't going to pull the gun. Personally, myself.
I'm not saying, I don't have a real opinion one way or another on what other people choose to do. If you want to open carry a handgun, that's great. That's fine by me. Carry a damn gun is all I'm concerned about.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anything? You got any ideas on that, John?
I think it should be an individual's right.
To do whichever?
As long as they take into consideration their environment, their training, and take it from there. Just, again, be cautious, be aware of your surroundings, just like with anything else we do.
Yeah. Okay. I brought this question up to the panel before we went live, and the question I put there was, since we're talking about open and carry and being a target or what, and when it comes down to the real nitty-gritty and your back's against the wall, can you really pull the trigger? Now, I thought long and hard about this before I started carrying. I don't want to shoot anybody ever. But I think deep down, if my life is threatened or a family member or something like that, or whoever I'm with is threatened, yes, I can do it. I feel I got that in me.
You've got mail.
I might not like doing it, but I think I have it in me to do. So, that's what I threw out there. That's what I was going to say to the, talking to the panel about. But the audience out here ain't. Oh, what's Clover saying here?
Clover and Rich are talking up a storm.
Carry the way you want to carry. Fact is, the odds you are going to end up needing it are crazy, crazy small either way. So in the grand scheme, it is a silly argument. That's my view as well, Clover. I'm also not worried about someone trying to steal my firearm off my belt either. Yeah, that's basically it. What about the second question? Oh, can you really pull the trigger? If you train and if you are truly threatened, yes, absolutely. Yes, now it may be hard to live with with later, but yes, without hesitation, I will put you down. Yeah, that's where I was trying to say myself is, will I be able to live with it after? Well, you're gonna have to live with it. You got no choice. But
Right.
I mean, am I going to have to be in sort of like therapy for ever? And this kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. So that was my take on it. I don't know about anybody else, but
Yeah. I mentioned this earlier in the chat, but I am working on scheduling the CCW course. But when it comes down to the wall, like whether I'm at home and I have to pull my handgun or one of my rifles on someone, whether it's, I go and get my CCW and I have my CCW and I'm out somewhere and I have to do it. The issue is, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not deathly, but I am really scared that I should ever have to pull a gun on someone and shoot them. I don't want to do that. It scares me to even think about that because I don't want to hurt anyone. I'm more of a live and let live, okay? But I don't know how I could even. And Tony said this in the chat earlier that you can have all the training in the world, but when it comes down to pulling the trigger, all the training in the world can't. It can only tell you what to do. It can't make you pull the trigger.
no, absolutely.
I think that's a problem because for some people who are not physically or mentally ready, the gun becomes a liability if you're not willing to use it. And
See, that's it. I mean, if you're not really willing to pull the trigger when it comes right down to your back's against the wall, there's no other options, then maybe you shouldn't carry.
Exactly.
Right. But I'm it's something I have to come to terms with eventually, anyways.
Oh yeah. Hey,
But,
Mike.
I may be forced into the situation regardless, but as Clover said, the chances are minute. But I really don't. I really hope to God that I never have to pull on anyone. Period.
Nobody hopes or wants that situation to happen, of course. But like Clover said, and Rich White, if it happens, it comes down to it. It's either you or them. And if you're not,
And
you have to be mentally and physically ready to take that on. You
Right.
have to have that confidence to.
Clover says he can barely hear you, John. You're talking quiet today.
I saw that. I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
you have to have that. You have to have that confidence to do what needs to be done, or again, it could come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
You certainly do not want that.
Did you see what
Correct.
Rich wrote? The truth is, no one knows what they are capable of until they're in a given situation. I have had to defend myself with a weapon in the past. I had to pull my EDC knife years ago. Lucky that's as far as it went, and I didn't have to use it. The two thugs backed down and walked away.
I'm glad to hear that, Rich, that you got out of that safely.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
But it scares me to think that I would have to pull on somebody else. And I realize that when it comes to the bottom line, it's either I pull the trigger or my family sees me in a casket. I understand that. It's just I don't want to have to
Make that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I thought long and hard about it before I started doing it. And I decided that, hey, I might go down, but I'm going to, I've decided that I'm going to try.
But at least I have the balls to be honest about it and tell you guys honestly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I have actually pulled my gun and shot somebody.
Wow.
And you can think about the moral argument you have with yourself leading up to it. But to be honest with you, it wasn't there. I mean, I was so fucking scared, or adrenaline dump, or whatever the hell you want to call it. that there wasn't that big should I, shouldn't I moment. I thought this fucker was going to kill me, and I shot him. Now, I was really, really sick right after. And that doesn't go away real easily, but it does. It's not something I would wish off on anybody to have to do. But when it comes down to you're actually convinced that you're in mortal danger, you can do it. It's not that difficult.
That whole flight response
Wow.
is normal.
Thanks for sharing that, Tony. Really, I mean, you're the first person I've ever met that's actually been in this situation. Thanks for sharing that. You know,
You're welcome. If I can alleviate somebody's concerns about what they have to deal with, you know, if you're scared, you can really, you get really narrow-minded in your thinking. You don't think about the moral dilemma or any of that kind of crap. I was fortunate. I was at work. It was done on camera, so I was vindicated. There was no real question about the validity of what happened, but still, I hope to God nobody I know of ever has to do it. I hope the fuck I never have to do it again, for goddamn sure, but I can. Being sick for a month afterwards is better than being dead.
no, absolutely, absolutely.
Amen to that.
And I said, I really do appreciate you sharing that. You know, it's nice to actually, I don't know, nice is the right word, but it to actually hear somebody who's been through it. Because we can all sit here and talk how brave we are, but like you, until you're actually in it, it's all
brave my ass. I was scared to fucking death.
Yeah, I think I would be too. But as I said, when it comes down to it, I think I'll be able to pull. I think I'll be able to pull it.
Now,
yeah,
like I said, I was fortunate because it was on federal property and there was cameras, and I didn't have any of that police crap that your average person is going to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, so other people that have been in this have dealt with a lot worse aftermath than I had to deal with. And I'm sure that makes it considerably worse than what I went through.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, Tony.
There's really nothing out of the ordinary with that. It's just like any other situation. Some people are able to do certain things. Some people are not.
Yep. Yep. So, anything else on that topic? Because I got a whole bunch here on my sheet here. We can move on with.
Shoot.
All right. Why? I mean, I know why. I mean, but like the Supreme Courts didn't pick up any of those cases.
No, we know why.
Because they didn't disagree. If two, district Supreme Courts, or how you ever call it, have come out with a different answer, then the Supreme Court will pick it up. But all the ones so far have agreed to the ban on assault weapons.
No, there is a damn disagreement in the circuit courts, and I can't remember right off my head what it was. Something where the 4th and the 9th are absolutely opposite on their decisions.
Was it going to do with Second Amendment stuff?
Yeah, it's Second Amendment stuff, but I can't remember what the hell it was.
Hey, Ghost. Oh, well, we'll have to look into that. But anyway, that's what, I mean, because I've been researching that too and listening to what people have been saying, and that's the reason. Is because on that particular one, I can't remember the name, is it Kobe or whatever it was, I mean, the Supreme Court's went the same way, so that's why it wasn't picked up. And some of these, what I didn't like was like some of these reporters that the Supreme Court upheld the decision. No, they can't uphold anything. They didn't hear the case.
Well,
You know, they just didn't take it.
someone yesterday explained that the Supreme Court receives about 7,000 cases a year. And I don't disagree with you, because there are cases they don't want to hear because they don't want to make decisions, like the Ninth Circus. But still, they have like a really, really staggering amount of bills to hear, even though a lot of those bills are what to name a street or something stupid like that. They still have an overwhelming amount of cases.
But
you
would think they would make priority for constitutional rights to uphold the Constitution instead of make decisions. Oh, we're gonna go and worry about what name the street is.
Right. Yeah. That's another story.
Yeah. I mean, what I was upset about, there was no like last time. Oh, what's his name? Wrote what was it called? Dissension or whatever. Why they didn't do it, or why they should have done it, or something.
Right.
On the last one, that we heard nothing from Gordage or our other. What's our other ally out there? What's his name? Top of my tongue, I can't remember his damn name now.
Neither can I.
We actually have several.
Judge, you know. So anyway, that's that.
Sometimes.
Anyway, that's that. Oh, hey, we're close enough to quiz time.
Uh-oh.
All right, can somebody
Run for your lives?
Somebody keep eye on the gun channels and another one on YouTube for me, please. Because what happens is I have this on a different screen, so I can't see the answers.
I don't know that I got gun channels working or not. I haven't seen a comment pop up since this thing started.
I'll keep an eye on the gun channels. I have it.
Yeah. The only thing I got on gun channels is Hi Rick from Bob.
John said wakey wakey, so it's working.
Yeah, so nobody's talking on there. So
unless he said it a half hour ago.
No, I just typed it in now.
This question is the instant one. Is you answer it there, then just send me an email at rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com. Send me your address and I'll mail it to you. It's for the pistol patch. Not a sticker, a patch.
Oh,
when
nice.
it comes to the cards, can I answer right now and just say $20?
Okay, now the question. This is a real easy one, so it should come fast. What is the distance from the front face of the bolt or breech block to the rear face of the chamber when in the locked position? I'll read that again. What is the distance from the front face of the bolt or breech block to the rear face of the chamber when in the locked position? Basically, what is the distance? So basically, what is the name? Got any answers? Let me come back. Clover's got it on the YouTube. Headspace.
You said what's the distance?
Well,
like 3 inches or 4 inches.
No,
Headspace is not.
It doesn't matter. In any gun, that's called the headspace.
Oh, okay. Because you said what's the distance. You didn't say what's.
That's the way to quit.
You didn't say what the. You didn't say what the distance is referred to as.
So anyway,
no, absolutely.
Clover understood it.
I thought he meant like 3 inches or 4 inches.
Anyway, you weren't
able to play anyway.
You weren't able to do it anyway, John.
I don't know. There was no answer in the internal chat, so I don't know.
No. All right.
I didn't get it either, man. But you don't see me complaining.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the question wasn't worded correctly.
John's complaining.
I don't know.
Sore that he didn't win. It's okay, John.
I don't know.
I'm just saying the question wasn't. The question wasn't worded.
You want it to me, and I'll send you the patch. You won the patch.
Oh, goody.
Thanks, Rich. I appreciate it. Rich said he knew it, but he wanted to give somebody else a chance to win. All right, now you got to wait towards the end of the hour for the big deck of cards. Well, you know, the old West playing cards. That's at the end of the chat.
You don't have to if you'll accept my $20 as an answer.
Oh,
Hey.
stop complaining.
Rick, jump on that.
I know
That
it.
ain't complaining.
Actually.
That's bribery.
But you know what? I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind doing this as a thing, but I don't know if I think the post office ripped me off because the one I sent off for the winter last week, I put in this envelope, you know, with padding in it, put the thing in there, addressed it, and everything else. Took it down to the post office, and they charged me $3.
Holy shit. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
It costs less to send a book.
Yeah, so I think the post office, you know, was I think they ripped me off.
You know what you should do next time? Put those in the box in the mailer and put it and send it as a book and just say it's a little mini Bible. You'll spend like $1 and change.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, I don't mind spending that because you guys are worth it.
Ah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. My little couple hours down the range this week.
Uh-oh.
I was telling Tony, it was a cold day. It was only, I think the high was 40. You know, so when I was there about 9 o'clock ish, 9:30. It was about 37, 38. It was kind of nippy. But I noticed when I was shooting my good there's no mag in it. Actually, I got a laser thing in it right now. So, but I was shooting this, and when it's cold, the arthritis in my hands is unreal, and I was having trouble holding it. You know, I couldn't even hold up right-handed or left-handed. I just couldn't. It was hurt. It hurt too much, even to hold it up. You know, my shooting was like crap that day. So, you know me, I'm a 45 ACP guy.
Good man.
And what I wrote down here was, I may need to go to one of them baby calibers like 9mm, a lighter gun for the wintertime. You know,
I'm disappointed in you, Rick. I'm disappointed.
I said I might, or buy some sort of like gloves I can wear that will fit through or one that I can have the trigger finger out of or something. Because what it means get cold and the arthritis, you know, really plays up.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor about getting a cream that's not oily. That when you put it on, it dries quickly and it's not as sticky as some of the other lotions. And then wear fleece gloves over that. I find that helps me a lot when it's cold.
Oh, yeah?
Voltaren gel works well.
What, a prescription cream?
Mm-hmm. They have some things out there. Like Tony said also. What did you say, Tony?
Voltaren gel.
Yeah. There is stuff you can get, and if you get a nice thin fleece pair of gloves, it does help.
Yeah. What was the name of that stuff, Tony?
Hang on, I'll tell it. Just make sure.
I'm going to write that down.
Voltaren gel, Voltaren.
B as in Bravo.
All right, I got it.
Victor.
B as in Victor. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Victor, Oscar, Lima, Tango,
Alpha, Romeo, Echo, X-ray.
Echo, November.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, I ain't spoken phonic in a long time.
Okay. Thanks, Clover. I didn't think about that, Clover. That might work.
Shooter's mittens help.
Yeah, because I said it was I mean, actually, I was out there, and
Those are the gloves where the fingertips come off.
Yeah, they have open fingertips and then a mitten in folds
Yeah, yeah,
over.
yeah.
I use
Yeah.
those hunting.
Oh, those I have a sheep's wool pair of those. Oh my God, they're so comfortable and they're really warm. And you just take the mitt off from the halfway of the palm. The mitt comes off, and and just the fingertips are exposed. Yeah, those are good.
yeah, yeah. But well, basically, what by the end of I was only there for a couple of hours. That's about all I could handle. But I mean, it wasn't an enjoyable. Well, any day at the range is enjoyable, but it wasn't enjoyable as days passed because I was feeling it in the hands with the arthritis and stuff. But I did test out that my my Missouri softball, what we were discussing the other week, where I ran it at an overall length of 121 and it fed beautiful.
What kind
I,
of gun is
I had
that?
it at I left the power the same as my regular one with 5.3. But the other one I normally run at an overall length of 127. But I noticed it fed I'm going to have to lower mine has to go down to 5.0 or 5.1 because at 5.3 it fired beautiful and it was easy to handle, but you could feel it, if you know what I mean. It was snappy, more snappy than the other one with that, because I guess that's the pressure build up with the bullet being pushed deeper inside. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not no physicist, but that's what I feel. But overall, it worked. So I'll be able. I'll be able to use them. So I just wanted to pass that on. Okay. What's next on my list? Oh yes, we can run them both together, or we can talk about them separately. The Knicks check, the new one they're trying to upgrade in HR 38.
Oh,
I hope it passes.
Guns and Gadgets said the bill is gonna be on the floor next week for voting. HR 38 next week on the floor.
Yeah, but they're trying to combine them both together, aren't they?
I
The
don't
Knicks,
believe
the
so.
Knicks,
I
the
believe
Knicks,
it's.
Got mail.
I believe just the HR 38 is going to be on the floor next week for voting.
Yeah. But what they're saying is when it goes to the Senate, they're going to try to put them both together.
Oh, for you mean voting at the same time?
Well, put the bills, make it as one bill.
Oh, that I don't know.
That's what I heard. And if you think about it, it does make some sense because technically, even though we know the background check is a bunch of crap, it doesn't work and everything else, right? But if they do it this way, we gave the Dems what they've been wanting for years on the background check, but we got reciprocity. It's give one, take one, I guess.
I don't want to have to give anything back. I'd rather just take.
I don't either.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've given too much already.
We have. We've given up machine guns. We've given up silencers. We've given up length of rifles and shotguns. We've
given up the ability to carry a goddamn gun without some governments saying that we got to have a reciprocity law when that's just horse shit.
Well, I know.
I thought we lived in the United States of America, not Europe.
But we got to take what we can get on the. We get national reciprocity. We're getting there. We're chipping at it.
I hate to have to quote G-Webs, but no, fuck that. I'm not taking what I can get. I want it all.
I do too.
But you're not. If they went up now and said no, the bill is we're doing away with anybody can carry a gun in constitutional carry, right? It wouldn't fly. Even though it's our right, it wouldn't fly.
That's why every goddamn gun person in America should be writing the Supreme Court saying these violations of our Second Amendment rights should end.
Absolutely, I agree with
Their
you.
fucking job to say that this is all unconstitutional.
You know, I don't feel we should. I mean, I feel we should be able to constitutional carry. I really do. Why not? But unfortunately, the way the law is set up right now, right? Like I told you all before, like up here where I'm at, just to get out of my state, I got to have Connecticut and Massachusetts permits because nobody recognizes each other when it comes to gun permits. I said this before. I owe taxes in Connecticut. They took to Rhode Island, and when I done my end of the year taxes, my tax return went to Connecticut to pay the bill I owed over there. They don't mind helping each other like that, but when it comes to guns, no way. So I mean, so there, it cost $100 and something for me, I think, for Connecticut, and $100 for Massachusetts. That's $200 there.
Piece of Rick, huh?
It's the problem that the liberals, the Democrats, the anti-gunners, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah,
they're trying to basically take America away from the people.
Yep.
They're trying to turn this into a police state where only they have armed security guards, only they and their armed security guards are allowed to have guns. Whereas if you're not rich, if you're not in a position of power, you've got nothing and you can't protect yourselves because we live in a society that doesn't need to be protected, which is a crock of shit. Because if you look at every country in the world outside of the United States, they're not exactly the safest of countries either.
Oh, they're not. They're not.
They'll throw their
They're
own.
not as safe as the liberals want you to believe. You know, there's a lot of crime going on over there, a lot of gun crime too.
Yeah.
You know, if you take it per capita, I mean, look at this. Because what they're doing is they're quoting stuff here, but look at the different size and population and stuff. But they do it by percentages. I think what I said, we're in sort of like we're the 15th highest in crime rate with guns or something. The rest of Europe done on percentages. You know.
Look at Europe, for example, okay? You used to be able to own firearms in Europe a lot easier than you do now. Okay?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
some countries in Europe, like, say, Czechoslovakia, they're trying to get some of those guns and those rights back because they found out that not having guns is actually more dangerous than having guns.
Here's the point. We were never meant to be like them. They come over and started this country to be different than them.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, my ancestors didn't start this country and fight for it so it could become a country just for some libtard who got a liberal arts degree, or he got a political science degree, or he's a lawyer and he says, "Oh, I know what's good for you because I'm a lawyer. I can tell you what's good for you."
It's
and
called a
turn our
useless
country
arts
into
degree.
Europe. No. We broke away from
arts
Europe
degree.
for a reason, so we could be America, so we could be different, so we could be free. But when we give our freedoms away like this,
Shall not be infringed.
there's no point in having a constitution. There's no point in saying, "Oh, we're different from Europe," because are we really that different at that point?
Well, if it was up to the liberals and Democrats, they would
Yeah,
get
well,
the Constitution to begin with.
I totally understand, and I'm not arguing with any of you. I mean, but where I'm going with the HR 38 thing, the national responsibility for somebody, for you guys down there in the free states, especially out west, where you either have constitutional or you have open carry or concealed carry, any way you want to carry it. Your state recognizes everybody else, and everybody else recognizes you. Up here in the Northeast, where me and John are, it don't work that way.
Right.
And
You
so that
think some of the older colonies?
that reciprocity works for us.
Absolutely.
It works for people coming in Illinois too.
Yep.
You would think that the original colonies that became the United States would be for the Constitution, would be for every amendment. But hey, guess what? It's the opposite in the Northeast.
And Massachusetts is the worst one, and that's where the goddamn Revolutionary War started.
Think about that.
Yeah. So
that's where the government that was there first started being overthrown.
It was in Concord. They went to confiscate guns, and that's what started it all. And what are they trying to do now? Confiscate guns. You know?
Okay.
We might as well still be under British rule.
I mean,
like, oh my God, that means Bob would be in charge.
You know, look at how bad it is in Massachusetts. Shit, that's where the shot heard around the world was from. It was the Battle of Concord in Lexington.
Yes.
Said that.
So, that's what you said. But
what
yeah.
the hell?
But under this 38, I think it's Rich said it there. He can't carry in Maryland. I live on the border of West Virginia and Maryland. But like John in New York there, the way that is written, and I've heard people talking about it, and I've been reading on it. I've heard radio hosts talk about it who are pro-gun. Is the way it's written is John could go get a Utah, if he's entitled to have a license, he can go get a Utah one, and he can carry in New York under 38.
That is what makes 38 better than the other one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. You know, and because what it's going to do is going to force those. I mean, of course, I understand New York, California, you know, the city of Chicago, Maryland, they're going to fight it tooth and nail. They're more likely try to take stuff to court, but they're going to lose.
What I want to know is, what is the punishment for states that refuse to follow said legislation?
I don't know.
And that's what you really have to look at, because you just mentioned a good point. They're going to fight it tooth and nail, but if they choose not to follow that said piece of legislation, you know, as a state, then what's the punishment for that state?
The problem is you have to when you get punished, you have to go through that ordeal until your lawsuit is over, because they'll make you go through that shit.
Yeah, so who puts the government of New York or Massachusetts through the same ropes?
Exactly.
I don't know that they're going to fight it that much. I think there's a possibility that they're going to hope that this shows a huge uptick in violence.
Yeah.
That they can point their finger at.
Yeah, we told you, look, blood in the streets, you know? But it ain't going to happen. You know?
I don't think so either.
No.
Unless they make it happen.
Because what a lot of them were trying to fight tooth and nail, and we were talking about it. Tony, you were there with me and G-Webs and everybody as we were watching this shit. We were commenting on this. And the thing about it is they were going after criminals and whatnot and saying, you know, there's going to be violence in the street and blood. But the fact is that what they refuse to realize is the people that have concealed weapons permits already right now that this would affect have already gone through all the background checks there are to go through. They've already jumped through every hoop in their state to get
absolutely
the permit.
Except for the constitutional carry states.
Except for the constitutional carry states. But my point is the factor those that already have their permits have done everything that they are required to in their state, and there are background checks on them already.
Oh yeah, I mean up here in Rhode Island
to criminalize the gun owners.
So
you know, I bent over backwards, or I bent forward, and they crammed it, you know, without Vaseline to get the permit. You know,
that sounds painful, Rick. You might not want to say that on air.
It was, but I got hell, I'm going to have what did Clover said last night? I'm going to have a 203 code or whatever against me now.
No, I think it was a 306.
Oh, is that what it was?
It was a 306.
Yeah. I don't have enough subscribers to earn money anyway, so.
No money to make.
No. But I hit that video stuff on the side on some of my videos. It says, "Oh, you've made 19 cents on this video." I haven't seen it.
If you were monetized.
Yeah, that's if I was monetized, you know. But I saw a video. I was watching a video. I snuck. I mean, I don't know why I did it, but I went and looked at one of Yankees.
Oh my God!
I mean, he's making some buku bucks still on it. Maybe not as much as he was, but he's still making some good money on his videos, you know. But where the money is, I found out, is you got to have the video go viral. That's where the big money comes in, you know.
Okay, so what you're saying is I need to go buy some tannerite and I need to blow some tannerite up in the backyard.
Yes.
There you go. Blow up your freaking house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
But
yeah.
you think about it.
I'm
I
talking
mean,
about.
that's how Hickok got so big.
Yeah.
That one video on him shooting a pumpkin, and it was on Fox News. You know what I'm saying? Now he has 2.5 million people, and he's
he doesn't. He was able to retire from that.
oh yeah.
Hey, Night Strike. If I move to South Carolina instead of West Virginia, you can. I'll move to. I'll buy property with buildings on it. You can come and blow those up.
Okay, well, as long as it's in the county, John, it has to be in the county in order to blow them up.
I'm telling you, man, you need to get one of them really realistic looking doll houses and put some tannerite in it. Long ways off and say, "Damn, I blew up my house."
Actually, Tony, you might be onto something. I might be able to go viral doing that. Yeah, you know, and we'll say real house blown up by tannerite, and let the news agency go wild, and then actually show later on when they try and say this house is blown up, we got to get rid of tannerite, and I say, by the way, that was just a dollhouse.
I can't believe that they ain't tried to get rid of tannerite already.
Oh, they have tried. Oh man, it's been tried already.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that, Ghost. Yeah, I see what you're saying. More than likely, you're right. So, anyway,
that idiot did that tannerite in the refrigerator and about killed himself with the doors. About enough of a video to show to Congress to get him to ban that shit.
Don't give them any more ideas.
my next question is how. Well, I know why, but how in the hell did that guy not found not guilty in California?
What happened?
Because the damn bullet ricocheted off the ground.
Yeah, after his stories changed 3-4 different times.
Or you mean the illegal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This ain't over.
The problem is it's in California and they're Democrats and they rather
Sanctuary City.
They rather protect the criminals.
The Department of Justice put out a warrant on this sumbitch already.
And if California had given him over when they were told to do so, this would not have happened.
The Democrats in California protect their own. And when I say their own...
And the criminals.
No. Hold on, Don. When I say their own, I mean other Democrats, including the criminals. Because, believe it or not, all the Democrats are crooks anyways. And yes, I'm going to make that blanket generalized statement, but I've yet to meet a Democrat that is for, anything we believe in. So,
yeah, well, you'd be hard pressed to meet a Republican that ain't a fucking crook too.
Well, that's true. All politicians, regardless of whether or not they're being indicted or not, all politicians are crooks. They're all criminals.
Well, they all are.
But I mean, I don't know how this son of a bitch didn't get convicted of manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter.
At least that.
Well, because they were trying him in a sanctuary city and state.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hey guys.
Yes.
We have a
troll.
Yeah, it's not even a troll. It's automated.
It's a bot.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
dating for sex, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Our first troll of the day.
I never had one before.
Oh, you're moving up in the world.
Yeah, climbing up that YouTube ladder.
Oh wow, things looking up. And I've even got a new subscriber, Biker Bob. And and
I wouldn't publicize that.
it was the other one. Somebody else did too earlier. I'm trying to think who it was. They told it was in the chat. Somebody else stuff too.
We don't have the issue.
I appreciate it. Well, anyway,
we don't have.
Add some mods, Rick, to fix the whole bot problem.
Well, anyway, guys, it's 3 minutes to the end of the hour. We can still carry on, but it's quiz time. Or the deck of cards.
I'm telling you, $20.
No, the answer is $25 because he needs to pay for shipping.
No, the answer is always 42.
That's right. The answer is 42. Okay. This is a write-in quiz. You email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com. And you got to midnight Friday. You know?
Okay, I wrote it in.
So now actually I think this one's an easy one. But then again, it's another British Army one. Since I stumped you with the last one, I thought I'd do it again.
Hashtag the British are coming.
Okay. The Bren gun, I think that's how you pronounce it, BREN,
The Bren.
was the British Army standard LMG during the Second World War. But it was never a British design. What was it modeled on? Okay. I'll read the question again. The Bren gun was the British Army standard LMG during the Second World War, but it was never a British design. What was it modeled on?
I know the answer to this one.
I told you it wasn't a hard one.
I told you not to use hard ones because people won't answer.
That's why I went with an easy one.
And this you want?
This is the mailing one.
Email to you? Okay.
To me. You know?
Okay.
But the panel can't, the panel's not allowed. Part of the rules. Why, I don't know, but I just made it so. Or should I allow the panel? They don't know the answer.
Oh, I know the answer.
Well, what I'm saying is I haven't given you guys the question or the answer before we started.
You want the answer?
It's enough of a reward to be on chat with you. So,
besides, you already sent me a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Oh, this answer.
Have you got them yet?
I have the answer.
I haven't got them yet. No.
Okay. I did send them. Yours cost me $3 too.
I owe you $3.
Now don't even worry about it. You know, it's.
Hey, Rich. Someone said just use a regular envelope since it's only a patch. Use the regular.
Oh, the regular envelope is. Yeah, I do. I use regular envelope for the patch.
Yeah.
Just a regular envelope, and I put a regular stamp on it. You know, no problem. But it's the pack of cards. I use that with the bubble in it because I didn't want them to get damaged in case somebody wants to keep them. You know, for I don't know. I've got two. I got two stuff. I got an open deck, and I've got one that's still sealed that I've got locked up in the old gun cabinet.
Tony says the answer on the Gun Channel's chat is $20.
Yeah, I saw that.
like I said, I wrote it.
So, anyway, I do have another thing on my list here. If we want to carry on, or we can.
I ain't going nowhere.
I'm good for a few more minutes.
Mainly it's to do what's on the news. You know, like all this sexual harassment. Where in the hell is it coming from? All of a sudden.
I can tell you where it's coming from, and you're not gonna like to hear it.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Yes.
People can't keep it in their pants.
Wait a minute. No.
That's where it's coming from.
Coming from feminists.
Yeah, too.
Since when has it been inappropriate to ask a girl to go out to dinner or tell her that she looks nice today?
They want to hear that anyways.
Any number of innocent shit that now is sexual harassment.
That's right. I mean, you got to think twice before you give a female
Compliment.
a compliment, because they might say, and the problem is, it's not necessarily her. It could be the girl sitting next to her gets offended by it, and they can get you for it. But where I'm going is some of this stuff is stuff hearing is 30, 40 years ago with some of these, politicians and TV celebrities and stuff. 30, 40 years ago, slapping somebody on the ass it might not have been right, but it wasn't against the law.
Yeah,
but today's it is. But you know what I'm saying?
Well, right now, I pretty much said that I've taken the stance that where if it's not a family member that's asking me how they look, I am going to go and tell them, I don't know. It's not my place to say.
Just say shit. You look like crap.
Oh well, they might get you for getting
I'm gonna say.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say not my place to say.
Yeah.
That way they can't go after you for it.
Just say I went blind when I saw you.
I declined to answer.
I went blind when I saw you.
Well, one thing you've got to realize is that most of these things are like a pendulum swing. It never stops in the middle. It always swings way too far the other way when it changes. So back in the 50s and 60s, you could be relatively crude, and it was just the way things were. Now it's swung way the fucking other way where you can't say nothing.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, some of the stuff that was allowed back in the day was wrong, and I mean, women aren't second-class citizens. They're not. We might drool over them in our minds, you know what I'm saying? But you can't do it in person. You know what I mean? Women have the same rights and should be respected for who they are as a person, not as a sex object.
Liberals and
am I winning you over?
Liberals and Democrats have given them a label so they can use it as an argument. They've never been second-class citizens. Liberals and Democrats label them that way so they can use that against other people.
And John would know because he lives in the capital in the Northeast for liberals and Democrats.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so do I. Yeah. Don't remind us. Thanks.
Oh yeah.
New York.
I mean, I went out. I was at breakfast this morning and got into a heated discussion with the owner of the place. He's a friend of mine. He's Democrat through and through, and he was going on about this new tax bill. I said, "You're gonna make on this." He goes, "Well, it's gonna put the deficit up." I said, "But you didn't say a goddamn word when your boy made it 20 trillion."
No, a tax reform doesn't increase the deficit. Wasting of money
increases the deficit.
He said the problem is the rich are just going to get richer. I said
what they're saying.
I said here, what is wrong with being rich? I'm not rich, but if I was, what would be wrong with it? You work, you become rich. Yeah, some of these people inherited this money, but some are on the, but rich is rich. I said, what you want is you want to take all the money from the rich to give to the people who ain't doing shit. What are you going to do when that money runs out?
What did he say?
He didn't have an answer for me.
They don't tax.
His actual words was, "Go F yourself and get out of my restaurant. I don't want to see you anymore today." I said, "I'll see you tomorrow." He goes, "Okay."
Yeah, that's the misnomer that they have. They don't tax the money that they have. They tax what they make. Or they tax it when it's passed on. But, what money you have, you have. There's not any taxing on that. It's what you make in the future that they're taxing. So these guys that are sitting on a mountain of money, they ain't going to pay no more taxes on it as long as they don't make no more.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not a perfect. It's not a perfect tax reform. It's not perfect by
It's not
any stretch
perfect.
of the imagination, but it's still tax reform.
That's right. And,
Only
and
Republicans over the decades have attempted for tax reform, and all that stuff. Democrats, they just want to keep spending. They and charge you and
No.
raise taxes.
Okay, I have to address something that's out there on the YouTube side. Ghost Tactical said actually New York has a long history of Republican. Massachusetts is the king of Democrats. And I just have to say this. Other than John Z, Ghost, find me a true, honest to God Republican in New York, because I'm pretty sure you can't.
Sadly,
what about the last mayor?
Sadly, there are
What's his name?
few.
Giuliani.
Sadly, there are few true Republicans left in New York. They do exist, but the problem is, look at the population size.
You know, aside from John Z, who is the needle in the haystack, I thought that my family were the last Republicans to leave New York back in the 70s.
Motherfuckers, you left me behind. Screw you.
To correct a statement, Kennedy lowered taxes when he was president.
And then he got assassinated.
By his own,
Saying
probably.
Well,
He was a Democrat.
but on this,
that shot him. So,
but on this tax thing, where they were arguing with me, they were saying, "Well, I don't think we're going to get any more money." I said, "It's not so much you're going to get a tax refund." I said, "You're going to be able to keep more. In other words, you're getting your money up front, not behind.
exactly.
You're not paying it, then getting it back in a refund." I said, for argument's sake, say they let you have your first $20,000 you don't pay tax on now. I said it's going to go up to $30,000, so you're $10,000 ahead of the game.
If I understood the bill,
figure, you know what I'm saying?
right? If I understood the bill correctly, part of it was, if I heard it correctly, was that the less you work, you're gonna get less back. So basically, if all you're getting is taxpayer dollars, you're going to get less of it, because they still need to reform the whole, the people that aren't doing shit and still getting government money.
Yeah, well, they got to do the welfare.
The welfare system, because they still need to reform that. So that was part of it. So that's a good part of it. The problem is the other parts, and it's not all the parts that are bad, but still it leaves a lot to be desired.
But it's a hell of a lot better than what it is right now.
Yeah, because if it was up to the Democrats, they'd be just spending, and raising taxes.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing that they don't talk about is the fact that they say it's going to increase the deficit by $1 trillion in 10 years. And then very small print behind that, they say they don't think that the economy is going to raise enough to make up even half of that. So they're being disingenuous even on a low ball of how good the economy is going to go. It's just dishonesty like usual.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yep.
You know, I mean, really, it doesn't affect me at all because I'm on disability and I don't file taxes. That's what I was told. That I don't have to.
Your money is not taxable.
Yeah.
So far as I know, I'm the same way.
Do I still have to file a tax return though?
You should just to keep it on record.
Well, yeah, because I read somewhere. Remember way back when? I can't remember when they gave you a stimulus check of $600.
You'll still get something back.
Yeah, but you have to file a tax return to get that.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I said, even though you're not paying taxes, still file your return.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
People who aren't doing shit and your taxes are going to support them, they're filing taxes.
Yeah, I remember last time when that came around, I owed the government money, so I never received it. They sent me an envelope, and the check said 0. They said it went towards your taxes that you owe the U.S. government.
You didn't look behind the check and see the bill?
Yeah. They had the balls to send me a piece of paper saying 0. You know, my money went towards the taxes I owed the government. I said, you bastards.
I didn't even. So I didn't even know other states gave other states tax money if you don't live there. You live there before they still take
I
the
lived
money
in
from you?
Connecticut, right? And
Okay, okay, that's why.
Connecticut said when I done my state taxes, they said I made a mistake and I owed them X amount. And I said, no, I don't. And they go, yes, you
Yeah.
did. Well, I moved to Rhode Island and I just didn't bother paying them. A couple of years ago, I get a thing in the mail when I get my state. I was going to get about $400 from the state of Rhode Island. Then that came thing and it said zero. It said $400, check amount zero.
Did you get a statement from the IRS or from the state, whatever, showing you what's left that you owe? If you owe
When I owe
anything?
Connecticut? Oh,
Yeah.
Connecticut, I'm paid up now.
Okay, good. So you don't have to worry about them
No, I'm
anymore.
paid
No
up.
longer.
You know what
You're
I
no
owed them.
longer.
It took me about 3 years to pay it.
So you're no longer a tax evader.
No, no, I don't worry about. I mean, the government, the federal taxes, I've owed them money before too. But see, with federal tax, here, guys, if you want to know how it's done, this is from a guy who used to skimp and scave and do all things. When I was out there drinking, I done all kinds of crap. Right? What killed me was electronic banking. It screwed me totally.
Oh,
'Cause I
because
used to,
you have physical records of everything through
I
that.
used to have 3 bank accounts and I could write a check on them to get money because it floats
I
for
got,
days.
I got a bill for $2.65 from the
Yeah.
IRS.
Well, anyway, the IRS would say you owe us. I had one where it said I owed them $1,400. So I just ignored it. Right. So about September, I finally get a letter from them saying, if you don't pay this, we're going to garnish your pay or whatever. So I call them up, tell them how hard off I am. We come up with a payment plan. You send one payment in. So you covered October, right? You don't do anything for November and December. January comes, you file your taxes. You have enough to pay it off. You're good to go.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's how you do it, boys. You know. But I'm a reformed character now.
Well, whatever.
Say, I
it is,
can't hardly recommend that plan.
Why? I'm not telling people to do that. I'm just saying that's what I did. But I don't do that now.
Well, just make sure whatever, if you're in the rear with anything, make sure you take care of it for those that have anything in their rear, because that stuff is taxed and taxed on top of that with the penalties and stuff. So whatever you do, just make sure you take care of that because it adds up.
It does add up. It does add up. I mean, I must admit, the time that one was paid off, the $1,400, I think in the end I owed them close to $2,000
Yeah,
because of taxes and penalties.
it's like a credit card.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying do it that way, but I said that's the way I did it. You know, because honestly, I didn't have $2,000. I didn't have the money to pay them, so I had to. You know,
they can't force out of you what you don't have. That's first of all.
So I mean, that's what I did, and it worked for me. Luckily, they didn't garnish my pay.
I'll be
And
back.
when I filed my taxes, they actually took out what I owed them and sent me the rest. So we're all clear, and it's been that way for a few years now. Basically, I don't cheat on my taxes anymore. You know, I would come up with stuff. I'm a very honest guy now. I don't lie much anymore. Not intentionally. But I didn't totally lie. I would, when I was doing my taxes, I would if I was doing something, I would round it off. And I would round it off high.
Well, that's just the Democrat in you.
Yeah. So like if my deduction was, say I spent $400, say, because I used to do the long form, I used to deduct my work clothes and all kinds of stuff. Because I was only a meat cutter. But my God, I mean, my clothes used to get ruined with blood and guts and everything else on them. So I used to, so my clothes I would claim. So say I spent $400 on clothes, right? Well, at the end of the year, hey, from that 4 turned into an 8. That's the kind of stuff I used to do.
I mean, people do that, and that's legitimate. If it's specifically for work, you can write off the clothing you purchase, and you write off the dry cleaning,
Yeah,
or
I
the
know, but
washing,
what I'm
or
saying
whatever
is
you do.
I had the receipts and stuff for $400, but on the form I wrote 800.
Well, you're allowed to do that because you're allowed to go up to a certain point, and then after that you have receipts. So you technically didn't do the wrong thing. You actually did the right thing.
Oh, okay. All right,
I've written stuff. I've written uniforms off for work.
You know,
For when I was working in the detention center, everything I bought, I wrote off on taxes because it's work related.
yeah,
And then when you do your dry cleaning, you write it off.
yeah. Okay. So we're done. Anybody got anything else?
I want to say one final word on the tax thing.
Yes.
Now,
You're not a tax agent, are you?
of all the debits you can have in America today, back taxes are the one that they can put your ass in jail over.
Yep. Like I said, that's why if you have anything in the arrears, make sure you keep up with that, because
Oh yeah. I mean, you can end up in federal prison for that.
Those penalties add up, and when they get up to a certain amount, it's too late. Like Tony said, you can be spending the night on a cot bed. I wonder if I paid the $2.65 bill I got from the IRS one year. I don't remember.
Better check it because it might be 23,000 by now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, Alaska, I didn't see you there. So, yeah. So we're about any other topics, or we're about ready to wrap this up. I want to say thanks to Rich, Native, Gun, John. Oh, John's in thing. Ghost, Ohio, Bob, Clover, Alaska, Oliver, and a bunch of other people. My chat just disappeared on me.
Well, maybe not Bob.
You know.
Thank you.
Not
Bob.
No, we still love you, Bob.
I want to thank you all for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. I really do appreciate it. It really makes my day. And I want to say thank you to the panel. And does the panel have anything, last minute plugs or anything they want to say?
Thank you for inviting me. I ain't going to plug the early watch again. I've already plugged it a couple times today.
All right.
Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite, Rick. And I'm going to be shameless, and I'm going to plug Hit or Miss every Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern. And Rick, remember, you're always invited.
I know. It shall not be infringed.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So we are calling it on this one. And I think, hey, we actually overrun by 20 minutes, which is pretty good. So things are looking up. All right, guys. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for joining me. And don't forget that competition. You got to Midnight Friday. So if you don't remember it, just listen to I think I've done it around 5 minutes to 4 or 3:55.
If you need the answer, Tony's charging $20 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sell you the answer for 30.
You know, and it's an open book. It's an open book question. You can look it up on the web.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
All right.
And that $20 wasn't for the answer, by the way. That was just a bribe to get the deck of cards. So
I know.
Good day, everybody.
But John went to 21.
John went to 21. Oh my.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.